In this one, we'll be learning a bit about WebSockets. A WebSocket provides a way to exchange data between browser and server via a persistent connection. The data can be passed in both directions as packets without breaking the connection and the need of additional HTTP requests. Here we'll be exploring a very simple example of WebSocket by implementing a broadcast messaging system. So here what we have done is we have made use of npm install ws, which is a Node WebSocket. So once you install this, you need to create a file. We're calling it as websocket-server.js. Now let's quickly review the contents of this particular file and what it is doing. Using the WebSocket package that we installed earlier, we are now creating a WebSocket server, and this server is listening on this port 8080. What we are doing now is we are listening whether the client is connected or not using this function wss.onConnection. And if client is connected, we are showing this message client connected. Then on receiving a message from the client, we are logging this message as raw message, and then we are converting it to string. And finally, over here, we are printing that string message. After that, we are iterating through all the connected clients, and we are sending this message back so that other connected clients can also receive it. The client who has sent this message will not receive it. As you can see over here, we are checking that thing over here, and we are also checking the ready state of the socket, and if it's open, then only we are sending the message. And finally, on close, we are printing this message called console.log client is connected. So this is the server that we have created. In order to run this, what we'll do is we'll run this command node websocket server.js, press enter, and here the server has started now. As soon as we will be launching our index.html file in browser, you'll see the output over here as client connected. Now let's quickly review the index.html file, what we are doing over here. So here, this is the container, and in this we have a text box and a button. When we are clicking on this button, whatever text we have entered in this text box with the ID message will be printed in this UL list that we have. So what we are doing over here, first thing, we are opening the socket. As I mentioned, our server is listening on port 8080, and that's where we are trying to connect the WebSocket. You'll notice the URL pattern over here. We have WS for WebSocket, and there's also an alternative version called WSS for secured WebSockets. But over here in this demonstration, we'll be sticking to WebSocket protocol. Now, as soon as you open this, so we have a socket now, and on open, we are saying that it is connected to the WebSocket server. Whenever the server is sending any message back, like over here, client.send, the same will be received on the client side using this method socket.onMessage. And using the event attribute, we can then get the data that the server has sent back, and here we are storing it in this variable message. Finally, we are appending this message in the messages list. When we are clicking on this send button, whatever text we have entered in the text box is sent to the server using socket.send command. So we say socket.send and then the message that has been entered by the user. Finally, we are clearing the text box. So that's the interface we have for client and server side. Let's go ahead and run this now. So here you can see we have opened two instances. Now let me put them side by side. So here, if I type a message and click on send, you'll notice hello is appearing on the other side. If I take you to the code over here, you can see when both the browser instances were loaded, we got this message client connected, and after that the raw message was this buffer, and when converted to string it said hello. Now if I go back over here and I say hi, this will then be printed on the other side. And here you can see the same being logged on the server. In the developer console, you can see the WebSocket over here that we have created, WS, and here the time you can see it says pending. The reason why it's pending because still it's connected and in an open state. Usually you see the request that we send over HTTP protocol, they are either returned with a 200 response or 400 or 500 in that series. Whatever is the response from the server, we get that. But over here, we are still connected. And if I keep on sending messages like this over here, SkillBakery Studio tutorial on WebSocket, click on send over here, you can see we are getting the same written on the other side. And the WS remains in the pending state. If I close this one and go back over here, you will see the message over here saying client disconnected. And this happens on the server side whenever you're closing the browser. So that's how the whole WebSocket thing works in general.